Isn't that terrible? Look at that.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us on this beautiful, beautiful day the Lord's made. Let's all rejoice and be glad in it. We're driving out we just got home. We've been to the feed and seed store, our favorite store, Good People, and to a metal shop, more to come on that, and we're driving out to the barn. Can you see in the bed of my truck? I don't know if you can, I hope you could see that. I'll show you when we get up here to the barn. My wallet's a whole lot lighter now. Beautiful day. The sun's out for right now, but the sun should be about over for the day. The weather forecast says rain, 50% chance overnight tonight, 90% tomorrow, with up to an inch of rain tomorrow. Perfect time to put urea on our cut hay fields. Today is a Monday. We baled the test plot and the west field on Saturday, and we're back today putting more nutrients back on these hay fields in urea. We done a test a couple of years ago with urea, and we done it on the test plot, and the results we got with urea, our soil here on this farm, our composition of the soil and the nutrients and all that stuff that makes up our soil here. Now this may not work everywhere, but here, man, our soil was super, super, super responsive to urea. And when we put urea on the test plot, man, that year the growth was phenomenal. I mean, it responded to it like that's a bag of pure steroids for that grass. So we're here today. We cut and baled our test plot and the west field a day and a half ago. So today we're spreading urea on the test plot and the west field, and soon as this rain window, we have a rainy period coming up of about a week and a half starting tonight. So we're not going to be able to cut our main hay field till this rain period is over. Once we get a window to cut, the very first window we get to cut, we're cutting our main hay field. When that is all raked and baled and it's off the field, we'll put urea on that field as well. We got enough to do them all. And so we're going to get our ATV hooked up. That's how we spread our fertilizers and urea and frost seed and different things. We have a pull behind Cosmo spreader that goes behind our ATV, and yes, it's not a little lawn spreader. It's a full-sized agriculture spreader, but it's on wheels. No PTO required, nothing like that. It's ground driven, and that thing's fantastic. We're going to get it out here, and we're going to get it hooked to our ATV. We're going to start loading the hopper with urea and head out into the fields and spread it. Stay with us. Okay, we've got our Cosmo spreader. We've got our Cosmo spreader ready, hooked to the ATV. We're going to spread on our test plot first. And last year, I done a lot of math, sit down with a calculator and figured up how much urea each parcel needs. And I know that can change with the soil conditions, but I see really nothing that's changed. So we're going to go back with that same ratio again on the test plot and, well, all our hay fields when it's time. Today we're going to be doing 2 hay fields. And we've got the poundage per acre figured out. And we're going to start loading this hopper and head to the test plot. I don't know if any of y'all have priced urea lately. With everything's going on overseas and the Strait of Hormuz and all that, urea comes from a lot of different places. I've done a little, excuse me, a little research on it. Why is the price so high? And I've done a little research on it, and a lot of it, whether it's coming from Iran or Saudi Arabia or wherever, a whole lot of it's coming out of through those straits. Not all. Some of it's in Canada. The United States makes some, but it apparently can't keep up. And a lot of it's brought in. And look at my knife. This is a 1982 Case Sodbuster Jr. My favorite pocket knife. This was my late dad's. Carry it every day. The price of it is outrageously high. And it's treated. It's treated to keep it from evaporating, because urea nitrogen's basically what it is. If this spread out on the field with no rain, it will evaporate into the air. It'll just melt down to nothing and evaporate. You gotta have rain on it within, what I've heard, 24 hours. Okay, this is from a company in South Carolina called Rogers Fertilizer, LLC. Look at that. God bless America. Good for you. Rogers Fertilizer, LLC. Glad to see that. But here's the guaranteed analysis, if you can see it. Total nitrogen, 46. And it's basically 4600. Same thing we've used every year. There's the analysis in big bold letters. 4600. If you have never tried urea on your hay fields, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. Do you a test area, just a small test area, try it. It's expensive right now. I think last year, and do not quote me on this, my memory ain't what it used to be. Last year we paid, I want to say $21 a bag, 50-pound bag for urea. The drought, high fuel prices, this urea, $27.99 a bag. Let that sink in. $27.99 a bag. Now, come October, November, when you're paying $3 and $4 more for a bale of hay, don't think these hay farmers are ripping you off if you're a hay buyer. We're barely gonna scrape by, even at the high hay prices, because of fuel, drought, fertilizer prices. Sometimes it makes you wonder the way things are going and the profit margin's so small. Do I want to keep doing this? I mean, last year we didn't make any money because of our nutrient loss, Hurricane Helene washing all the nutrients off our field, and we had to fertilize so heavy with different fertilizers, urea, triple 19, all sorts of stuff, to get our soil building back up, then put sheep on them all winter. You know, and then we had the foxtail infestation disaster, and it just turned out that we didn't go in the hole last year, but we did not make a single penny on hay. Matter of fact, if you figure in our equipment cost, we probably lost a little money. And it is what it is, and I'm not gonna cry over spilt milk, but I'm not doing that again, hopefully, with the good Lord's help. Now, I'm not gonna overcharge or nothing like that for hay to make up for it. That's not being right either. But hay farmers all across the southeast in these areas are suffering. And you know, it is what it is. Okay, I have the appropriate amount in our hopper for the test plot. Let's go spread it. I'm sorry, I don't have the right amount in there. Getting ahead of myself. I was about to take off with not enough urea in the hopper. We're done with the test plot. Spreader works phenomenal. The only thing I don't like about this spreader, and I think it's about all spreaders, is rust. Can't keep rust off of them, no matter what you do. I've done everything I know to do to keep this spreader in the best shape possible, because this thing's not cheap for a small family farm. And so you might try to maintain your equipment best you can. And man, I'm telling you, it don't matter if you wash it off. I figured out washing it's not the best thing, even with a power spray or something. Best thing to do is just blow it off. But it spread the test plot really well. Good coverage. The hopper's not going to rust because it's plastic, that poly, whatever you want to call it, polypropylene or some kind of plastic, which is a good thing. That's why I bought it instead of one of the metal hoppers. But even so, the rest of it's all metal. The spinner plate, the spinner fins, the axle, you know, the frame. You just can't keep rust off of it. Do some experimenting with your soil. If you've never tried urea, you owe it to yourself to try it once in a test area. Stuff's too expensive to spread all over your fields if your soil's not that responsive to it. Way too expensive. But you just might find that your soil responds superbly to it, and your yields on a normal, and I'm not talking about a drought period, but a normal season of cutting, your yields might go up a third or a half. Okay, since we're pulling this with an ATV, and that is a 500 four-wheel drive ATV, it's got good power. But since that's so steep out there, I'm not gonna fill this thing completely to the top. I could get another bag in there, but I'm not going to. I'll come back and get another bag in a little bit. Let's head to the west field. We made it to the west field. Got a hopper pretty full. It would hold one more bag, I'm not sure. 3/4 of a bag anyway. It's getting breezy. and it's clouding up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Lord. We won't rain tonight and tomorrow because urea needs rain on it within 12 to 24 hours or it starts evaporating. And your money spent on this expensive urea was for naught. We've got a 90% chance of close to a ½ inch to an inch of rain tomorrow, rain tonight. So we're in the west field. Boy, don't it look good. I tell you, that drum mower cut this field and our test plot both beautifully. I mean beautifully. And the mower hay rake done a great job. More coming up with that, I already tore it up. Okay, let's get spreading this urea. Okay, we're done with the west field. That spreader makes quick work of it. And I'm telling you, I really enjoy doing it off the ATV. I can do it so much faster than I could if I was doing it off of my 3-point on the back of my tractor. A lot less fuel, a lot less time. I can run back and forth between fields, refill the hopper, all that type of stuff. So much faster than I can off of the tractor. I'll never spread off of my tractor unless I just don't have an ATV anymore. And I'm telling you, if something happens to that ATV, and it's getting old, that machine's getting pretty old. It's a 2006 model, and it's getting a lot of hours on it finally. But when it finally gives out, I'd probably go get a side-by-side instead of another ATV with a little dump bed on it. It'd be really good for our rotational moves when we move our sheep stuff, to put fence reels and stuff like that in. But I would spread off it too, just the same. Okay, let's head back to the barn. We've got urea still in the truck bed that will go on the main hay field when we cut it, after we cut it and bale it. So it'll go into the barn for storage until we're ready for it. Let's go get that unloaded. In the hay room here, unloading our urea, stacking it up for after we do our first cut on the main hayfield. 3rd Gen Farms, your rooster's crowing. That's a joke. Okay, I've got my hay tester. You can see behind me, we've got hay stacked in our hay room. Man, does it smell sweet in here. We're going to check some temperatures, and mainly we're going to check some moistures, and mainly temperatures. None of this seems to be hot. Okay, right there, that one is 12.9. Okay, let's do a temperature reading on it. .81. Okay, this stuff is good as far as moisture goes. All right, let's check this bale. Randomly check a few. 12.3. Okay, now let's do a temperature reading. .81. Alright, I've randomly checked a bunch of these, and they go back in here in the corner, and they're every one about the same. Moisture reading of around between 10 and 12. Perfect. Temperature reading around 80 degrees. Okay, see that one? 12.1. And a temperature of 81 degrees. Moisture 12.0. All this hates in the barn is in good shape. Man, really good shape. It smells so good in here. Okay, let's go work on our new rotary rake. Yep, I done broke it. I said earlier that I broke my new rake, and I did in a way. The rake is in and of itself is not broke. You can see I got something in my hand here. Let me explain. Saturday night we finished baling hay, and we got all our hay in the barn and everything was going good. We had a full day Saturday from early morning, early till after dark. By the time we got all of our equipment put up, okay, you saw in the last video when we finished baling, I said I blew off the baler and all that. Okay, we took the baler and parked it in the barn and all that. It was right at dark. And I looked out here in our barnyard and this rake was still sitting out here. Hadn't been put back under the shed. So I jumped on the tractor. I hooked it to the 3-point real quick. Backed it in here and realized that it wouldn't let all the way down because I had put, this is a little bit of a drop off in there from the tractor. Up there on level ground it would have worked. I had my older, shorter top link hooked to it. Well, when I went to sit it down in here, it wouldn't touch the ground. With that shorter top link, I rolled it all the way out and it still wouldn't let it come all the way down. So I pulled it back out, went to the barn, sit it down, took the stock top link off that Kubota, got my longer one that I bought specifically for this rake, put it on, and by now it was basically almost dark. Got it stuck on it and started to back it in here, and when I got pretty close to the edge, I thought I'm gonna see if it'll let all the way down, and I let it all the way down and I seen the wheels touched, so I backed it on up. And I didn't realize that my kickstand was still was down. In a hurry. You get in a hurry like that and you're just dog dead beat tired from all day working in the hay field, and little things will start leaving your mind that you need to do. You know, do this or do that before you move that. Raise the jack stand, or before you hook your top link, make sure you do this. Your mind gets really tired and you're just wore out physically and you just want to get it done. It's getting dark and I couldn't see real good. That's no excuse. I should have looked. My jack stand was still down, or the kick stand to hold this up. You can see I had to sit it on some jack stands with some blocks under it. Man, that's dangerous. I don't want to leave it this way. You can see when I backed that thing back in there, I heard something pop. And I thought, what in the world was that? I got off the tractor and looked, and the kickstand on this thing was sticking plumb out sideways. It was still in the channel. Look at this. Isn't that terrible? Look at that. Bent my jack stand, or I keep calling it a jack stand, it's a kickstand. Bent my kickstand so bad, I had to take a hammer and beat the roll pins out of it with a punch just to get it off, to be able to park it for the night. And beating and banging out here in the dark with a headlamp on. So what did I do? So how am I going to fix my new kickstand on my new rotary rake? First time using it. That's a hay farmer for you. All right, I went to welding shop today, and they sell metal and things of that nature. And took this with me. Said I need a new piece of channel or tubing, and they measured it and cut me a new piece of steel tubing the same size. Only thing, it does not have the plate on the bottom. You can see it here. I've spray painted it, cleaned it up, and spray painted it. And the holes are drilled in it appropriate size. I guess you can see it, the holes here. Let me see if I can flip it. It's still wet with paint. But you can see the holes are all the same as this one, and it should work just the same except without a foot. And I'm not worried about the plate on the bottom. I can slide a board under it. We've got, just like right here, we've got little pieces of 2x4s laying everywhere. And it stays parked on the concrete floor and shit, so it ain't gonna sink up in the dirt. And if I ever park it up out here somewhere, I'll just slide a board under it or something like that to keep it from sinking into the dirt. But yeah, tore my kickstand off of my brand new rotary rake the first time using it. And let that be a lesson to everybody. When you're dog tired and it's getting dark and your mind's not thinking straight, you're just wanting to hurry up and get in the house and sit down or climb in the shower and get clean and get out and have supper at midnight. Here's the result of that. Thanks for being with us today. We got our urea on the west field and the test plot, and we're going to be cutting our main hay field. It's ready. It's been ready, and the yield's going to be down just like the west field, probably a third, half what we normally would get because of the drought we had all spring. But it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about that. We've got urea stacked in the barn in our hay room, ready to go on the main field soon as we cut and bale it and get it all off the field, ready to go on there. And that was an expensive little trip to the feed store today. Like I said earlier, because of all the stuff going on over in the Middle East and the shipping lanes and all that, the price of it is ridiculous. Then you combine diesel fuel prices and everybody's first cut of hay being about a third or a half of what they normally get, at least in the southeast. I mean, it's going to be a rough hay season. I'm telling you, if you're a hay buyer, it's going not. The market's not going to be flooded with hay. So, put a nice coat of Rust-Oleum paint on our new kickstand, and all the hardware, the bolts and everything goes through it. It's been drilled size appropriate right back where this one was, and it's ready to go. Just got to let this paint dry. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it, and I pray God blesses you and your family, and we pray y'all have a fantastic day.